Hello everyone, Nathan here, and it seems like ages since we had a proper full-on Steam sale. So today I thought it'd be interesting to have a brief look at a few Steam games that are a bargain even when they're not on sale. Now I should mention that there will be a Steam sale soon, and I'll definitely be covering that, so you might want to hold off and see if these prices drop in the coming weeks. But even costing what they do right now, these games are a steal. So we're going to kick things off with a game that got massive critical appeal when it came out and was a lot of people's game of the year for 2015. It's Undertale. This is a game that does things differently, with interesting battle mechanics and the ability to avoid killing your enemy entirely, instead choosing to spare them. Undertale has great characters, some fantastic music, and it remembers everything that you've done. You can choose to be a merciful soul and find a way to avoid harming your opponent, or you can just take the easy way and kill them like a total dick. It's difficult to say too much about Undertale without spoiling the game, as it's way better to experience it for yourself. But I will say at £6.99 or $9.99, it's definitely worth a try.
Your wife is getting fat and secretly adores your father, sir.
Well, now you've heard that, you already know largely what Oh Sir, the Insult Simulator is all about. Taking turns to pick parts of an insult against the AI or a real human via online multiplayer, you have to be as scathing as possible to take down their health and win the argument. Now sometimes you come up with a perfect argument that makes complete sense, and other times you end up insulting someone's hat by saying it admires pictures of Satan, but that's all part of the fun. It should be said that after around 2 hours of play, I feel I've got almost everything out of this game that I possibly can, but for just £1.59 or $1.99, this game is a true bargain, and I imagine if you get a friend to play it against you, this could be utterly hilarious. Besiege is up next, and this building and destruction game allows you to construct medieval-style siege weapons to take on different scenarios. These monstrosities that you create can incorporate cannons, flamethrowers, and all manner of other crazy stuff. Now, as you can see from my gameplay on screen now, I'm not particularly creative, but if you're someone with a strong imagination, you can make some really insane machines and beat levels in countless different ways. It's one of those games where you can go and talk to your friends and say, how did you beat it, and their story will be completely different than yours. Now for me, I'm going to stick with the 4-wheel flamethrower for now. It doesn't take too much effort and it's ruthlessly efficient. But you, go and make your own thing, find a fun way to beat these levels. Coming in at £5.59 or $7.99, Besiege offers a decent amount of content and fun gameplay for the price. Moving on, we have The Binding of Isaac. This roguelike twin-stick shooter randomly generates a new dungeon for you to take on each time you start a run. Playing as Isaac, a child escaping from his demented mother, you'll have to defeat a variety of enemies and grotesque bosses in this punishing game. Now, I personally played this a lot more on PS4 than I did on PC, and I have to say I found it a lot harder to control with a keyboard and mouse than I did with a controller, which is something to note if you don't own a controller for your PC and might be worried that you might not get the full experience here. But then again, that could just be me, and to be perfectly honest, I totally suck at this game anyway, as I do at all games like this, such as Enter the Gungeon. Nonetheless, The Binding of Isaac is a hell of a lot of fun to play, and can result in hundreds of hours of fun, so for £3.99 or $4.99, I have no problem recommending it. From one twin-stick shooter to another, as next up is Hotline Miami. This is a truly brutal game about beating, bludgeoning, and gunning down enemies, and the action and speed of the game is immense. By the end of every level, you'll have left the area covered in the blood of countless henchmen and enjoyed every moment of it. Some missions you'll have to retry over and over again, because if you mess up, the game is extremely punishing, but when you finally get it right, you feel a real sense of accomplishment. The visuals in Hotline Miami are colourful and retro, and the soundtrack is worth the cost on its own. Coming in at £6.99 or $9.99, the original Hotline Miami is something worth experiencing. So I wanted to finish on a super cheap game, and I've gone for Reigns. This game tells a story about kings, rebirth, and the devil, and does it in a completely different way than almost any other game I've ever played. You'll get a deck of cards with different scenarios on them, and for each card you have to choose from 2 different answers. You play as the king, and each answer you give will affect some or all of the 4 bars at the top of the screen, representing the church, the people, the army, and the treasury. Now initially when I started playing, I knew, thanks to my decades of gaming experience, that I shouldn't let these bars drop to 0. But what I didn't realise is you shouldn't let them fill up entirely either. And if you do, it means that one area of society is too powerful and no longer needs you in charge. Even if you manage to maintain each bar between 0 and 100 though, you'll eventually die and be reborn as the next king. There are plot twists here that I don't really want to get into because I don't want to spoil things for you, but there's more to this game than just simple decision making and resource management, as there is an actual story behind it. This is a game that has very simplistic mechanics but manages to tell an interesting story and have decently compelling gameplay, and for £1.99 or $2.99, I feel it's probably the best bargain on this list. So that's about it for today, but just before I go, if you fancy a chance at winning a free Steam game, my giveaway of Gang Beasts, which now includes an online multiplayer beta, is still open for entries, and there's a link in the description down below. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, I'd be very appreciative if you click that like button, it really helps me out. Let me know what Steam bargains you found in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Nathan, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.